I'd like to understand Africa's value proposition to the world. We've had things like the green economy, leveraging on its population for the digital age. From your perspective, I'd like you to highlight this key value proposition and its superpower to the world.
I think Africa's superpower, like you said, lies in its combination of natural resources, its huge untapped markets, its abundant natural resources. In fact, the continent is known to be home to 30% of the world's mineral resources, including key minerals like platinum, rare earth metals like cobalt, many metals that are critical for the global green transition. It also, like you said, has a huge, rapidly growing young population, which ties into its competitive advantage as far as technology is concerned. Its huge human and growing population is also gives it opportunity, has huge capital, as like I said, innovation and consumption. Um, so I think its value proposition lies in those key issues. Its huge population, which provides both labor as well as consumption for the rest of the world, and it also tied to an advantage for digital innovation, and the fact that it has significantly huge mineral deposits that are untapped, which the rest of the world actually needs for continuous industrialization, for sustainable development. I think that's what gives Africa its competitive advantage across the world. It's all driven by its natural resources, wealth, its demographic dynamics, also its geographical positioning, and of course, like I mentioned, growing technological adoption. So if you look at sectors like agriculture and agribusiness, for example, Africa, more than any other country in the world, has 60% of the world's uncultivated arable land. 60% of the whole world's uncultivated arable land, huge potential. It has abundant water resources. It has generally favorable climatic conditions, which makes it a prime location for agricultural production. So as the world continues to grow, as population continues to expand, Africa is actually going to be the location that would eventually feed the rest of the world, because it has such a huge amount of uncultivated land. So for agriculture, which you can use to provide feeding for the rest of the world, whether it is across a wide range of crop, that is cocoa, coffee, maize, tea, cassava. There's also a high value export such as organic and specialty agricultural products. So that's the opportunity. There's opportunities in agro-processing industries that can add value to its huge raw materials. There's huge scope to adopt modern farming technologies, for example, precision agriculture, irrigation systems, and so on. And all this gives Africa a huge opportunity to expand exports of growing of the growing global markets, exports a lot of agricultural commodities like I made to feed the rest of the world, especially in Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. I mentioned the fact that the continent is rich in minerals, lithium, and so on. Many of these minerals are critical for modern industries like renewable energy and electronics. So again, strengths in Africa possesses the strengths in being the largest global reserve, reserves of cobalt and platinum, actually, which are all essential for electric vehicles and renewable energy technologies. We also have significant deposits in Africa of oil, natural gas, for example, in Algeria and Nigeria, of course, Angola. So huge opportunities um, transitioning from raw material exports to local beneficiation and processing. Also, the opportunities for investment in renewable energy minerals, like I mentioned, lithium, copper, and so on, to support the global energy transition. Just two more examples, and there are quite a lot of them. They're also renewable energy. Uh, Africa has a huge, enormous untapped potential in solar, wind, hydro, and even geothermal energy. The Sahara Desert, for example, offers one of the highest solar ingredients levels, I think, in the world. East Africa also holds significant geothermal energy potential. For example, the Kenya's is the Okari geothermal plant. So you can see the opportunities also in renewable energy, from exporting clean energy to neighboring regions, especially in Europe, via the green energy corridor, or by expanding decentralized renewable energy systems to power rural and upgrade commodities all across the world. And then finally, opportunities, huge competitive advantage in technology and digital economy, which coming out from its young, growing, large youth population, growing internet penetration, which is also creating a thriving tech ecosystem. So when you look at countries like Nigeria, Kenya, Egypt, South Africa, we are finding tremendous growth for emerging tech hubs. They are becoming emerging tech hubs in many of these countries. We have seen successful cases of innovations in fintech from Flutterwave, from M-Pesa in Kenya. So it's a huge opportunity for scaling financial technology solutions to promote financial inclusion, which is still at a very low level in the continent. There's huge opportunity for building regional tech giants to meet local and global demand in e-commerce, logistics, and even in edtech. I'll add tourism as well. That's another area in Africa that is being lightly untapped and has huge opportunities. The continent offers a unique combination of wildlife, as we are aware, culture, its culture, huge cultural heritage, and again, it has diverse landscapes. Even manufacturing, even though it's currently underdeveloped, it still offers a huge, significant opportunities to create jobs and offer value because of, again, its proximity to these raw materials I'm referring to, and of course, access to currently low cost of labor. The others, uh, I think I have to add creative industries. I think that's probably one of the ones that the rest of the world is very familiar with Africa. Yes, the creative industries, huge, rich culture heritage, glowing. It's a huge, glowing global interest in its music, film, art sectors. The whole world was talking about Dirty December a few weeks ago. So again, there's a huge opportunity. The global popularity of Afrobeats, the Nollywood industry, even its fashion industries, unique cultural assets that can all be monetized if you get things right. So I get there are huge opportunities in Africa, and I think that's where the value proposition comes from as far as Africa to the world is concerned.